Hey guys, it's Steve with Montana Musings Outdoor Channel, and just jumping in here to give you an update that we have had our third grizzly bear shot as it was charging somebody. Um, this one happened to happen around the Condon area between Condon and Seeley Lake, and it's this one here. The guy apparently lives on a ranch, and he heard some noise out at the corrals or somewhere. The livestock was acting up and his dog was acting up. And so he went out to investigate, and the grizzly was out in there apparently, and it charged him. And of course, him obviously living in Montana knew that he better have a gun with him, especially where he lives. So he did end up killing that bear at close range. And so, this is just another instance where so far the stories are something that I can kind of live with, because I'd rather have a grizzly bear get taken out than a human. So um, I know that's weird to some people, but that's how I am. And the other, so this is a third one. We had this one here at Condon, and then of course we had the one down by Shoto where the father and son were morel mushroom hunting, and this was must be a couple weeks ago now. And they ended up getting charged by a sow with her cub, and they ended up having to shoot that one. And then, of course, the one that was earlier in the year, where they were, the guy was out shed hunting and ended up getting charged, and he ended up shooting that one and killing it. So that's the third one. That's a pretty active season for Montana, I think. I don't know. It just seems like it's getting worse. We really need to get these things delisted. The state has a management plan in place. As soon as they get delisted, they're ready to take over, from what I've read, and that is something that I'd really like to see. There needs to be some control where, like, these guys, probably nothing's going to happen to them, but there'll be an investigation. These are obviously pretty cut and dried, but it's just, if you do shoot one, your life's probably turned upside down for a bit until they determine that you didn't do it on purpose or something like that. Because of that, but like I'd mentioned before, for something like the numbers, I think for recovery was, I'm not sure. Used to be that the numbers were in our area was around 700, and now it's up over 1,300. So, and that's well above what the recovery numbers were supposed to be. I'm not sure I think it was around 750 or something, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. It just seems like that pops into my head for some reason. But anyway, so we've got, more and more problems. I'm going to throw a picture in here just so you can kind of see the area that I kind of triangulated, the Condon, Dupuy, or Shoto areas, and you can kind of see where they're at. So I'll throw that picture up here, and you can pause it and have a look at it or whatever if you want to. So that's coming up. Yeah, so it's, when you live in the mountainous areas, you're just going to have a lot of, more and more grizzlies all the time. And they're actually, I saw one on the way to work the other day. I did a little short on that. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I threw a couple pictures, or at least one picture in there of it. And it was a big bugger. So, they're just moving further out onto the plains. And there's a certain faction of people that think, well, that's where they lived, 300 years ago. So that's where they should live now. But I hate to tell them, times have changed, and that's just not going to fly. But and it's funny, like the FWP website, these guys all had to discharge their firearms, and they had firearms with them. They don't even mention firearms in the Be Bear Aware thing. Or they say, carry bear spray and be prepared to use it immediately. Travel in groups whenever possible. Make casual noise, which can help alert bears of your presence. Stay away from animal carcasses, which attract bears. Follow food storage orders. All of that kind of stuff. They go down a little bit more, but none of it mentions, being able to carry a firearm to protect yourself, because bear spray is not always going to work, and I'm not saying a firearm will either. If you don't hit your target, you're still toast. So I just watched a video by I think it's called Grizzly Guy, and they were kind of in a mountainous area on side hill and stuff, and they had this round ball, and they were tossing it up the hill, and then as it was bouncing down, they would try to shoot it, and that was to simulate a grizzly bear running towards you, and how they would be bouncing, and when a grizzly bear runs, they kind of go like this a little bit. So um, unless they're bounding, then it's the up and down thing, which could be. But either way, you're not going to have a standstill shot more than likely. So you got to know where to aim and just practice and get that muscle memory and that kind of thing. So I thought that was kind of a good demonstration of how you could practice for something like that if you needed to. So anyway, but that's probably all I got for you now. I just wanted to bring up the fact that we've had our third grizzly shot as it's charged a human being, and they have defended themselves and used a firearm to do it. So I encourage you to do the same. Carry your bear spray, but make sure you got a firearm, because the wind could be wrong. You don't want that stuff blowing back in your face. There's 100 things that could go wrong. So just be proficient with your firearm and be ready to use it. So that's what I got for you today, and we'll catch you in the next one. And thanks for watching Montana Musings Outdoor Channel.